At one point, these were called the ugliest boots ever. The aesthetics of these boots is a bit of an acquired taste, unique materials, and distinct stitching. Some people may argue that the boots has a unique design which makes it so appealing, while others find them to be the ugliest shoes ever made. Well, according to this article, but they've actually gained a cult-like fan base, and the boots that I'm talking about are the Clarks Wallabees. The Clarks Shoe Company was founded by two brothers in England, and they made the Wallabees in the late 1960s. They're inspired by a German moccasin called the Grasshopper. By the 70s, these boots saw a rise and they were adopted by Jamaican musicians, and that slowly started to boom. By the 80s, the Wallabees began to pop up in the hip-hop industry. For the most part, they're one of the most popular unique boots out there. But since this is a Doc Marten channel, we're definitely going to have to compare the two. So when it comes to sizing, I noticed with the Clarks, I had to go like a half size or maybe a full size down. I usually wear a size 9 or 9.5. And with the Clarks, I got myself a size 8.5. I'm happy that they do half sizes, unlike Doc Martens. But one thing to worry about with the Clarks is the width of it. I feel like they're a little bit narrow. So if you do have like wide feet, please make sure you try them in stores. That's like my biggest advice. Always try them in stores. And also, wide feet is going to be an issue. I always say go a size up for wide feet, but depending on like the length and stuff, for me, I do not have wide feet, and I felt like these felt great. I had no issues with them, and even with the sole, I thought it was going to feel a little weird, but that was good too. So when it comes to comparing these two different types of soles, it's very interesting because the Clarks, they have like, I think it's called the crepe sole, but it is very like gummy, rubbery, and yes, they do have a little bit of bounce, but when it comes to Doc Martens, it's the air cushion sole, which I feel like I give them a little bit of an edge, but when it comes to both of them right out the box, the Clarks, they feel good. They feel more comfortable, but the Doc Martens, it does take time for your feet to mold into them, and they look good eventually too. So that's the biggest difference when it comes to the sole. And then also, this is a picture of them when they're cut in half, and yes, the Clarks, they have like some type of, I don't know what it's called, but something in there. So while the Doc Martens, their airwear soles is just basically air. And I'm not sure which one is the most comfortable, but for me, they both play their part. And then when it comes to the sole durability, I feel like, I don't know which one will last longer. That would be a great experience if I can like afford to wear both of them like every day for like a month, maybe 2 months, and just see how long it would take, you know, or even up to a year. That would be a great experience to see which sole would last the longest. When it comes to breaking into the Clarks, I literally had no issue. After the first wear, or from right out the box, I did not have to break into them. They felt amazing, which was like a breath of fresh air because I'm used to wearing Doc Martens and going through that break-in period. If you're not used to it, it can be frustrating. But also, Doc Martens do have boots that are easier to break into, like the soft leather or the vegans. So there's a nice alternative, but I do like the Clarks just because it just looks unique, and right out the box, it was good to go. I didn't have to worry about pain points or anything. Probably the only advice that I'll give, make sure you get your size because you don't want like your pinky toe to be hanging off of it. Make sure that the boots of your Clarks are wide enough. But when it comes to breaking into them, the Clarks definitely do have a little edge, but also the Doc Martens, I mean, let's be honest, you can buy some soft leather Doc Martens and they should be fine too. So in conclusion, I do think both of these are a good option. When it comes to pricing, the Clarks, they're about $160, and then also for Doc Martens, they can be $170, $160-ish, depending on which one you do get. So I do think they're good, but one thing I always keep in mind is that Doc Martens do sell the Made in Englands, which are $220, $30. So are those better than the Clarks? I mean, honestly, it depends on your style. It depends on what you like. I feel like the Clarks, they're very good. I really don't have any issues with them. The only concerns that I would say is that if you have wide feet, look to go a size bigger, because like the sole seems like if you do have wide feet, like your pinky toe and stuff like that would be hanging on the side, and that'll make it a little bit weird. And also, I do wonder how durable it is. Let's say a year from now, how would my Clarks look like compared to my Doc Martens, which I do know how they look like years down the line. So yes, I do like both of these, but let me know your thoughts on this subject below, and check out this video right here where I compare Doc Martens to their arch nemesis. No, I'm just playing.